Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Welcome. I tried to get this lighting. I don't know. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. I think the lighting is decent. PK, what's going on? What? I know I'm live right now. Hey, how am I doing on the lighting? Okay, that's probably better. Okay, let's get it. Let's get this party started. So, I have a pretty decent topic for you tonight, and the topic is what is the difference between, or the differences and similarities between a good salesperson and not such a good salesperson? I don't know if I should call him a bad salesperson because you know, well, I don't know. But so a little bit about my background. I've been in sales 35 years actually, and I've had 38 jobs in 10 different industries. I've sold a few things in my life. I don't recall ever selling anything like cheap stuff. So I've always sold decent stuff, but and I've done some sales training in various industries, mortgages, and all kinds of stuff, right? So I feel like I can talk a little bit about good salespeople and not so good salespeople. So the best way I can explain a good salesperson versus a bad salesperson is this: it's like a painter versus an artist. Okay. Now, you may think, well, what does that have anything to do with sales? Well, maybe it doesn't unless you're selling paint or art equipment. But in this analogy, if you would see, a painter would get a bucket of paint. You give him or her a wall or what have you, and they'll go to work and paint it, right? And they may spill somewhere, they may miss the edge here and there, they may go on the ceiling and kind of miss a little bit here and there, and you know it may not be like flawless perfect, although you can get it that way as well. But you just get a bucket of paint, there's not much to it, you just kind of paint. Well, an artist would come in, would take the wall, would take the bucket of paint, and would get creative with it. Even if they spill somewhere, they'll make it look fun. They'll make it look like it's a hobby. They're enjoying what they're doing. They draw you into their work. See, an artist, when they're at work, you don't normally just kind of pass by and walk by and not pay attention. If somebody's drawing a a painting on a wall, a mural, I think that's what it is. You're probably going to, at least for a second, you're going to kind of pause for a second, take a look, maybe even be like, right? And then walk away. Maybe even stick around for a few. But when a painter is painting the wall, you're probably not going to even pay attention. If somebody's painting a wall in the street, you're like, oh, they're finally painting this wall, right? And you'll just walk by. It doesn't draw you in to what they're doing without them wanting to, or without them even trying. They're just doing what they're doing. An artist does what they do, and they're doing their thing, and then you're drawn into their work, right? Not because they pulled you in, it was because you felt close, you felt connected or curious. It's the same thing when it happens to a sales person. See, I can be a painter of a sales person, or I can be an artist of a salesperson. Christina, in that I could, if thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you. If you happen to be a painter of a sales, right? I got to showcase that. Come on now. If you're a painter in that case, right? What you're doing is really forcing or just trying to pull people into your pitch. That's what a painter does, right? You're vomiting all the information all over them, or you're almost begging them to buy, right? Like you don't have to come out and say, "Oh, I need to sell." I would rank advance. I would do this. I would do that. I statements. It's not like that, right? It just your voice will tell the story, will tell how desperate you are for the sale, right? And that's a painter. That's something to just doesn't pay attention to the details, right? Doesn't have any creativity to it, right? So, so if you're in sales and sell anything at all, and you're doing as a painter, right? You're probably not getting a lot of good results. They're not sticking, right? But if you're doing it as an artist, which means you love what you're doing, you're passionate about your products, your opportunity in this case, if it may be, you're passionate about it all together, just not just one piece of it, right? And you do it out of the goodness of your heart and soul, and you think of it, and this is huge, you guys. I want you to pay real good attention here. You do sales not because you feel like you're doing it to somebody, but you get into sales because you feel like you are doing it for somebody. See, most people get into sales because all they focus, and the reason why they don't do too well is because all they focus is oh, I'm doing this to somebody for me to gain what? A commission. What John Melton calls commission breath. Love it, right? So you do it because you feel like you're doing it to somebody. That's why it feels like forceful. That's why it feels like, oh, it's such a chore, such a task. Oh God, I don't like sales. Why? Because you feel like I'm doing it to somebody. Most people, when they say I don't like sales, it's because they feel like they're doing something to somebody. My friends, people buy things all the time. They buy the same thing you're selling from other people, from other places. Sales, if you're passionate about your products, your opportunity, whatever that you're selling or promoting, if you're passionate, then you're doing it as an artist, which means you know how to speak. You know how to persuade, not beg and plead. See, forcing is not persuading. Persisting is not persuading. Persuading is something you wanted to do. I'm just directing you towards it. That's all. You wanted to buy a mattress and you came to the mattress store. It's not like I came to your home, knocked on the door in the middle of the night, and I said, "Hey, do you want to buy a mattress?" Right? So if you feel like sales is like, "Oh, I'm doing it to somebody," already, you're not such a good salesperson. I'm going to call you out right now. You're not such a good salesperson if that's what you're thinking. If you're thinking, "Oh, I'm doing this to somebody, I'm doing this to them, and I'm getting a commission, yay," then you're not a good salesperson. But if you get into sales, you get into your products or your opportunity or whatever it is that you sell, and you feel like you're doing this for somebody, then automatically you got the foundation to be a good salesperson. Because then on top of that, you can develop the skills that go along with all that, right? But if you feel like you're doing it to somebody, to this person, oh, who's the next person that I can do this to, then you're always going to be chasing that bait. You're going to be chasing that little chunk of change, right? You're going to be painting and you're going to be moving to the next wall to paint the next wall, right? Nobody's going to stick around and watch you paint. But once you get into the art, right? You understand the art, you understand the needs, you understand what you're providing, you understand the questions, you understand where the objections are coming from. You know how to handle them. You don't lose yourself. You don't get all nervous and everything. Then you're developing your skills. Then you can say, you know what? I'm a pretty decent salesperson. It's not about the numbers. I want to tell you this. This is something huge. A lot of, listen, I've been in sales for 35 years. 99.9% of my friends are all in sales. So, and some of them I've even trained. And some of them may not agree with me. Some of you may not agree with me, and that's totally okay. But I can say this stuff because I come from a land of sales, right? Being a good salesperson is not about the numbers. I'm telling you. Being a good salesperson is not about the numbers. It's not about you hitting high numbers. You could be a high producer and a crappy salesperson on unethical for one thing. You could be a liar, cheater, you don't have right solid MVPs, your morals and values and principles are all whacked up. So you can be a high producer, top producer, and not be a good salesperson. Because here's the thing. If you're painting, you're not a good salesperson because you're feeling like you're doing it to somebody. See, if that's the case, if you're a top producer and then you're a good salesperson, imagine the combo there. Imagine the impact and the power that you have, right? So I want you to be very, very clear on this. Just because you or some others say, "Oh, I don't like sales. Oh," it's just because automatically they feel like they're doing something to somebody. "Oh, I'm gonna beg these people. I'm gonna call my friends and oh my goodness." That's not how sales is. No, you're doing it for somebody. You look for the people who are looking for your product and your opportunity. You look for those people. That's why sales is for, right? So the first thing you want to do when you decide to get into any kind of sales, by the way, I've done a couple of lives on this before where I share the thought that everything in life is sales. Even if you're an IT guy, a computer geek behind the computer 26 hours a day, I'm telling you, you're in sales. It's a whole other life. We can talk about that another day. But I'm telling you, everything in life is sales. You're a mom, you're a salesperson. You're a dad, you're a salesperson. Your sister, you're a daughter, you're a son, you're sales, 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 sales. Okay. But I want you to really think about it. If you are in sales or you're considering to get into sales, then you want to carry that thought with you all the way along your journey that you are doing something for the people who come across your way, whether it is you sharing your products with them, or you share your opportunity with them, or you just come across them and you share your story with them. You're doing something for them, it's not something to them, right? and that's a big point. So I want you to really focus on that. And the next time you get somebody who's all shaken up when you say sales, have a conversation with them and say, hey, what are you afraid of? What is it that you feel like you're gonna do to these people? Is it like torture that you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, what is it that you get so scared of? And it's mostly about the rejection, but that's a whole other life. But the first thing is that you feel like you're doing something to them, and it's like they don't want it. I'm making them want it, and that's being a salesperson as a painter. So don't be a painter. Move to be an artist. Work your game. Work your magic. Um, Develop your skills. You've got talents and stuff hidden inside you that God gave you. And it may take you a while to look and find them. It took me a long time. Hey, listen, I'm 51. I just kind of found out, right? So I want you to dig deep, find out, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to talk to people and get out there. Sales is beautiful. You're doing something for the people, unless you don't like your own opportunity or you don't like any of your products. See, here's the thing. I'll leave you with this. I don't use all of our products. We have over 90 products, right? I could probably replace everything you have in your home with my stuff, right? But I don't use all of them. I mean, if you ask me what's your least favorite product, I'll tell you. If you ask me about this one product or that one product and you say, hey, how's it taste or how's it work or how's this? And if I don't care for it, I'll tell you. But then there's a million other products I use. No way on the planet Earth I would change. No way. Right? So if you are solid on your own thing, then become an artist. Work to be an artist, and remember that sales, whatever you are in, it's you're doing something for the people. So hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop a takeaway from this below. I did one of these stitch videos, and I took Ray Higdon's video and I stitched it with my own thoughts. So you'll be seeing a lot more of that. I thought it was Sunday. Ray was giving good stuff on money and God. And why not stitch them together and throw it out there on a Sunday? So if you see it out there, I would love to get your comments and takeaways on that as well. Anyway, with that, if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people. I am Sean Azimi with sidekicksean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.